Hi and welcome back to Cut the Craggle. And this is a very special video, as it is my first ever custom LEGO CMF video. I've pitched my ideas for different minifig series before, but this is the very first time I've actually designed an entire custom LEGO minifigures series myself. Today, we're going to be checking out my ideas for a LEGO Scooby-Doo Collectible Minifigures series. This video is a collaboration with fellow LEGO YouTuber Spacetime Brick Studio. He took my 2D designs and then brought them to 3D life with his fantastic rendering, and he also created some brand new molds for this series as well. He's going to be posting his own behind the scenes video about the making of this series, so please go check out his channel. You'll find links in the description and at the end of this video. And remember, if you do enjoy this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. And if you subscribe and turn on notifications, I'll love you forever. So let's jump right in with our very first minifigure in my custom LEGO Scooby-Doo Collectible Minifigures series. And it is, of course, Scooby-Doo himself. There's no way I couldn't include everyone's favourite cowardly Great Dane. We've stuck pretty close to the existing LEGO Scooby figure, but I wanted to put our own twist on this to make it a special variant exclusive to this series. So you can see, we've given Scoob a brand new dual molded headpiece with him wearing a detective's deerstalker cap. And to complete that classic Sherlock Holmes look, he also has a cape piece with a checkered pattern. The inspiration behind this design came from the cover of Scooby-Doo's Greatest Mysteries, a collection of 4 fan-picked episodes released on VHS tape in 1999. And growing up, my little sister even had a cuddly toy of Scoob dressed just like this. For an accessory, we've given him a box of Scooby snacks, which consists of a brand new printed 1x2x2 brick with a 1x2 tile on top. Then we have one of the most iconic Scooby-Doo villains, the ghost of Captain Cutler. Appearing in the second episode ever, A Clue for Scooby-Doo, he's one of the most instantly recognizable baddies from the series, and certainly one of my absolute favourites. We've used a Series 8 deep sea diver helmet piece, but in bright yellow green, and to complete his ghostly look, we've made the lens phosphorescent green so it glows in the dark. The ghost of Captain Cutler was very unique, as the baddie was actually disguised as his own ghost. Underneath the helmet, we've given him a disgruntled face print, and he even comes with an extra hairpiece to complete the unmasked look. Next we have Hot Dog Water, aka Marcy Fleech, from Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Marcy was a recurring character throughout the show's 2 seasons. Initially seen as a kind of Lepin version of Velma, she soon took a villainous turn, but she eventually redeemed herself and became one of the gang's most trusted allies, not to mention Velma's girlfriend. She comes with 2 face prints, this first one with her usual non-impressed expression, and then a second one with a much more infused look. We used the Hermione piece as the base for her brand new hairpiece, and then added Marcy's trademark twin hair clips on either side. She's got a new skirt piece in coral, and for an accessory she has a flashlight. Mystery Incorporated is one of my absolute favourite iterations of Scooby-Doo, and Hot Dog Water was a fantastic character, particularly in the second season, so including her as a minifigure in this series was a complete no-brainer. Our second baddie from the classic Scooby-Doo Where Are You is the stuff of many a child's nightmares, the spooky Space Kook. He's another visually iconic villain, but the most terrifying thing about this character was his laugh. It used to freak me out no end when I was a kid, and to this day, I'm still a little unnerved when I hear it. You can see we've given him printed arms and legs to replicate the metal plates of his alien spacesuit. For the top half, we created a brand new piece. The base is similar to the Batman space armor piece, but connects to a new dual molded dome, which is red at the back and then clear at the front, so you can see the skull design printed onto the minifig head. If you take the dome off though, and turn his head around, he has a alternate face print, showing his true identity for when he's been unmasked by the gang. Of course, I couldn't make a Scooby-Doo CMF series and leave out his bestest buddy, Shaggy. The 80s were full of questionable fashion choices, even for mystery-solving slackers with bombless stomachs. Starting with the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Shaggy ditched his usual green top for a red shirt. This minifig is probably the closest to the existing official LEGO Scooby-Doo minifigures. To help him stand out from the others, he has two brand new face prints. The first with him licking his lips hungrily, and then the second is actually a very creepy looking design based on the evil mirror monster from Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. Next we have the ghostly gondolier. He's perhaps not as well known as Cutler or the Space Kook, but still a very iconic and creepy looking Scooby villain. He comes with a lavender hood piece and under that a black headpiece with glowing eyes and mouth. He also has a double-sided pointed cape with lavender on the outside to match the hood and then black on the inside. And for an accessory, he has the one thing that no gondolier should be without. A rowing oar. And a gondola. I mean, he doesn't come with a gondola, but no gondolier should be without a gondola, because if they haven't got a gondola, then are they really a gondolier? Anyway, if you take off his hood and turn the head around, he has a alternate face print for when he's unmasked and revealed to be Mario!
Lego Mario time!
No, not that one. It's trapping time, as we take a look at the gang's fearless leader and resident trap expert, Fred Jones. I knew I wanted to have minifigures of the entire gang in this series, but since we already got official minifigs of them in their traditional outfits, I wanted to do something different. Since this series is meant to pay tribute to the entire history of Scooby-Doo, I based Fred on his most recent appearance in the 2020 feature-length animated movie, Scoob. His attire isn't a massive departure from his classic getup, more an updating with mostly the same colour scheme. For his face print, I think I've actually channeled Freddie Prinze Jr. just as much as Zac Efron, giving him an excessively smug and self-satisfied smirk. For his accessory, he comes with a shield, fashioned from the Mystery Machine's spare tyre cover. After his beloved van is destroyed in the film's final act, Fred straps the cover to his arm like Captain America, smears some oil on his face like war paint, and charges right at the giant monster. It's the same build as Taskmaster's from the recent Black Widow sets, with a printed tile for the dirty flower design. I could have easily filled this entire list just with monsters and ghosts from the classic series, but I really did want this to cover as much of Scooby's 50+ years as possible, so our next minifigure is the Zombie Gladiator from What's New Scooby-Doo. While the 90s were the decade that Scooby-Doo forgot, the noughties saw something of a Scooby renaissance. When it released, What's New Scooby-Doo was the first new cartoon series in the franchise for over 10 years. The Zombie Gladiator comes with a golden trident as well as a bullwhip for accessories. And he's wearing a brand new Gladiator helmet piece that Spacetime created, as well as a dark red cape. I really love how the printing on his legs came out. It was a pretty tricky design to get everything lined up across the hips and both the front and sides of the legs, but I think the finished render looks fantastic. Another character from Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated I knew I had to include in this series is Angel Dynamite. Originally introduced as a radio presenter, and seemingly the only adult in Crystal Cove that supported the gang's mystery solving, Angel was later revealed to have a much darker backstory than anyone could have imagined. Not to mention some rad ninja skills. I am so pleased with how this minifigure turned out. Her costume is just an explosion of 70s disco flamboyance. And I think between us, Spacetime and I have done a pretty good job in capturing that. I love how the heavy eyeshadow on her face print looks. And we've even given her a new dual molded piece for her afro and headphones. And we've also given her a second alternate face print with a much more alarmed expression. Plus something I am very excited for, an entirely brand new animal figure piece for the diabolical Professor Pericles. This was something we had a little bit of difficulty in realising, but I'm so glad that we saw it through because Spacetime has done a brilliant job in bringing the evil parrot to life. Jinkies, it's Velma! This version of her is based on her appearance in the 2005 feature-length animated movie Scooby-Doo in Where's My Mummy? In the film, Velma is part of an archaeological team excavating the Sphinx in Egypt. I really liked the change from her usual costume and thought it would make a great looking minifigure. You can see she is absolutely covered in printing, all over her torso, arms, hips and legs and sides of the legs. She also comes with a second face print with her looking very surprised and maybe a little bit scared. She also has a scarf piece around her neck and a brand new combined hat and hair piece for her pith helmet. We really went all out to fully capture her explorer style outfit. And for accessory, she has her trusty magnifying glass. I'll be honest, I'm very proud of how all the minifigures in this series came out, but this is one that I think really turned out pretty. The finished render looks just like how I hoped it would, and I think her face print looks just adorable, even if I do say so myself. Another minifigure I'm particularly proud of, and one that we had a little bit of difficulty with, is the Frankenfooder monster. This culinary creeper popped up in the latest season of the new series Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. I thought he was a visually stunning villain, and I fell in love with the idea that the one thing Scooby and Shaggy love most had turned against them: food. Speaking of which, looking back, we really did bite off more than we could chew with this character. But in the end, the finished design is one of my favourites. You can see he has detailed printing all over his arms and legs to show the different types of food he's been cobbled together with. And we've given him the Wolverine claws in green for his sharp, leafy fingers. In order for us to really do this character justice, Spacetime created a brand new armor piece based around the existing LEGO pumpkin, which even includes a tiny apple on the left side of his chest to represent the monster's heart. And to top it off, he has a brand new hairpiece for his broccoli afro with a little tuft at the front for the pineapple leaves sprouting from his head. Originally, I did plan on giving him a second face print for when the monster is unmasked as celebrity chef Alton Brown, or even try making the monster's head bigger so that it became like a helmet that fitted over the top of this headpiece. But in the end, we felt it would look better and be more practical to just give him two separate headpieces. Before what's new Scooby-Doo hit television screens, the Scooby Renaissance really began with 4 straight-to-video feature-length movies. The second, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, introduced Crystal, a seemingly beautiful young nature photographer with a penchant for 60s fashion. She instantly captures Shaggy's heart, but unfortunately, all is not what it seems. You can see we've given her the Apache Chief hairpiece with her orange headband to match her top, and she also comes with dual molded arms and a hip printing as well. Crystal is actually a government agent from an alien planet. Realistically, you would need a whole other figure for Crystal's true form, maybe even something buildable like the original group fig. But just to keep with the unmasking motif we've used throughout this series, I gave her an alternate face print as more of a homage to her alien appearance. Jumping back to the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You show, we have the Ghost Clown. It could be argued that this character is single-handedly responsible for an entire generation of coulrophobiacs. The Ghost Clown is another terrifying and iconic villain from the franchise's early years. I went through a few different versions for his face print, trying to Legofy his frightening features, and I'm pretty pleased with the final result, even if it does mean I won't be sleeping tonight. Spacetime did an amazing job creating a new mould for his combined hat and hairpiece. The base started life as the dark brown piece in red, but then Spacetime added a bunch of different elements and worked his magic to create the little black hat the Ghost Clown wears. It was also Spacetime who came up with the idea for his accessory. I was really struggling to figure out how we could realise the gold coin on the string that he uses to hypnotise his victims, until Spacetime suggested using the paddle piece in trans clear and attaching a round 1x1 tile for the hanging coin. You can see we also printed a thin line on the paddle itself to represent the string. For Daphne, I chose to base her minifigure on the character's appearance in the 2019 animated movie Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13th Ghost. A semi-sequel to the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Daphne is once again thrust into the role of leader, a part she previously played in the 80s cartoon series during Fred's absence. She changes her hair, switches outfits, and becomes much more of a daring adventurer than her usual danger-prone Daphne persona. She has a printed purple leather jacket and dual-molded legs with printing to show off her stylish new boots. And as well as her cool new threads, I also gave her a confident smile for her primary face print. For accessories, she has a messenger bag in lavender and a crystal ball in phosphorescent green. And she even has a second face print with a much more surprised expression. I love Daphne's new look in this movie. I immediately knew I wanted to design a minifigure of her, and I instantly knew I wanted to use the Ariel hairpiece from the Disney CMF series in orange for her. Sadly, we were unable to find a decent 3D model of the mould, and after several unsuccessful attempts at trying to recreate it, we settled on this tried and tested alternative. I still think she looks brilliant though. Our penultimate minifigure is none other than Mr. Bean. Well, not really, but he was played by Rowan Atkinson, so it kinda... Anyway, this is the only minifigure in the series not based on a cartoon character. Emil Mondavarius appeared in the very first live-action feature-length film, Scooby-Doo the Movie, in 2002. Emil here is in his ceremonial robes, and I'm very chuffed with how good the detail pattern turned out. In keeping with the unmasking motif, Emil's second face print reveals that he is really a robotic impersonator. And who is behind this sinister scheme? Well, none other than Scooby's own notorious nephew, Scrappy-Doo. Yeah, I know, Scrappy might be even more universally hated than Jar Jar Binks, but he's still an important part of Scooby-Doo history. Whilst his inclusion here as a meals accessory is from the live-action movie, we've taken some creative liberty and based this figure more on his cartoon appearance. Spacetime did a terrific job in creating this piece, and the only complaint I have is that I wish it was a physical figure rather than just a 3D render. This is it, our final minifigure, and this one was actually voted for by my channel members. If you'd like to have a say in future videos, please consider hitting the join button below. There's a ton of different perks across 2 tiers, and I will be asking for my channel members to vote on future videos as well. With that shameless plug out of the way, I'm pleased to announce our 16th character in the Scooby-Doo Collectible Minifigure series is Vincent Van Ghoul. First introduced in the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Vincent Van Ghoul was a powerful magician and warlock, with extensive knowledge of the supernatural. The character was created as a homage to horror movie legend Vincent Price, who actually voiced Van Ghoul. For an accessory, we've given him the Chest of Demons, which is based around the existing LEGO chess piece, but has blackened bones for the handles and a horned skull latch on the front with glow-in-the-dark eyes. I had a blast drawing the face print and translating Vincent's distinct features to LEGO. I opted to go for his tuxedo style costume, and we've given him a double-sided cape to finish. He also uses the swept back with Widow's Peak hairpiece in dark grey with lighter streaks at the sides. And if you're looking at this fella and thinking, doesn't he look a bit strange? Doctor Strange. Well, Vincent Price, who was well known for portraying wizards and sorcerers in his films, was actually the inspiration when Steve Ditko and Stan Lee created Marvel's Sorcerer Supreme. They even made his middle name Vincent, as they didn't want the tribute to be a secret. And he also comes with a second face print with an extremely exasperated expression for when Scooby and Shaggy have messed up yet again. So there you have my LEGO Scooby-Doo Collectible Minifigures series. 16 minifigures spanning over 50 years of supernatural sleuthing. Some of my favourites include Velma, the Ghost Clown, Hot Dog Water, and the Frankenfooder Monster. But honestly, I think they all look beautiful. Of course, there was no way I could include everyone. A couple that almost made the cut were the Witch Doctor from A Tiki Scare Is No Fair, and originally I had intended on giving the Scooby-Doo movie space to the Lunar Ghost from the movie's opening scene, but after starting his design, I felt he looked a bit too similar to the Ghost Clown. A massive thank you to Spacetime Brick Studio for working with me on this. It did take a little longer than we originally anticipated, but I think the finished result is well worth the wait, and I'm already looking forward to our next collaboration. Let me know what you think of this series in the comments below, don't forget to like, and if you haven't already, be a legend and hit that subscribe button for more custom minifigure series in the future. I'll see you next time. Laters.